He said your request was... Inquisitor, I must speak with you.
What is it?
I must explain something first about the Montilier's fortunes.
I remember you said your family had been forbidden from trading in Orlais.
It's devastated our finances. The Montilier's have, in fact, been in debt for over 100 years.
I had no idea your family's situation was so precarious.
Hardly anyone outside the family does. For generations, we've done everything to keep creditors at bay. Sold our lands to stave off interest. It's just... it is infuriating to see my family still reduced to this. I'm to become head of our house. If I sell any more of our land, my family will become destitute. That cannot be my legacy to them.
Most people worry about their next meal, never mind an estate.
I'm not blind, but I worry for my family. My foolish sister Yvette with her daydreams, my brothers trying to rebuild our fleet with their own hands. Is it wrong to hope they never know hardship?
Is there anything I can do?
I'd almost solved our problems. For a while. I negotiated a chance to reinstate the Montiliers as landed traders in Orlais. We could rebuild with that. But when I dispatched paperwork to Val Royeaux, I've just learned my carriers were murdered. And the documents restoring my family's trading status destroyed.
Do you have any idea who murdered them?
Leliana made inquiries that bore success. Comte Boisvert, a nobleman in Val Royeaux, claims to know who killed my messengers. He has a request that you come when I meet him, so he's seen publicly conferring with you.
What will being seen with me gain the Comte?
The Comte will drop hints at parties he's to meet with an important visitor. Allies and rivals will take note. Once he's met you, there will be speculation. The Comte will subtly spin reports to his advantage. He will use us. But if he knows who killed my people, I ask that we indulge him.
If that's what it takes to get to the bottom of this, I'll meet this Comte with you.
Thank you, Inquisitor. It means... you are too kind. I must know who killed my couriers just to harm my family. A situation requires your attention, Inquisitor. Noble Chantry loyalists in the city of Jadar are spreading accusations that you're responsible for the Divine's death. They're unusually organized. I recommend we send people to Jadar to deal with the matter.
Will anyone even believe me if I claim I didn't kill the Divine?
Perhaps if they learn about your heroics. We should emphasize how you stopped the breach devouring the sky. Even in Jadar, it may win you a few admirers.
What does the nobility gain by saying I murdered Justinia?
A scapegoat to begin with, but I wonder if the Grand Clerics are at work. Those immediately eligible to be divine died at the Conclave. The ones remaining were not as favored. They may look upon you as a rival for influence.
Let's send some ambassadors to convince Jadar I'm not a monster in disguise.
Excellent. I believe there's much to be gained by winning them over. It's good to see you. Inquisitor. Inquisitor.
All right.
Hello.
I'd like to know more about you, Solus.
Why?
You're an apostate, yet you risked your freedom to help the Inquisition.
Not the wisest course of action when framed that way.
I appreciate the work you're doing, Solus. I just wanted to know more about you.
I am sorry. With so much fear in the air. What would you know of me?
What made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits, and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas, one must be interesting.
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger. If Corypheus destroyed the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fade. Ah, Inquisitor, that is why I joined, not why I stayed.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. In truth, I've enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You train your will to control magic and withstand possession. Your indomitable focus is an enjoyable side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
You said you'd traveled to many different places.
This world, or its memory, is reflected in the Fade. Dream in ancient ruins, and you may see a city lost to history. Some of my fondest memories were found in crumbling cities, long picked dry by treasure seekers, the best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across with but a thought.
Any place in particular?
I dreamt at Ostagar. I witnessed the brutality of the Darkspawn and the valor of the Ferelden warriors. I saw Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the signal fire, and Logain's infamous betrayal of Kaelin's forces.
I've heard the stories. It would be interesting to hear what it was really like.
That's just it. In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire, and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Kaelin fall. The next, I see an army overwhelmed and a veteran commander refusing to let more soldiers die in a lost cause.
And you can't tell which is real.
It is the Fade. They are all real.
Have you always traveled and studied alone?
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships. Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped me search. Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not often survive exposure to the people they encounter. Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
You're saying that you became friends with pride and desire demons?
They were not demons for me.
Meaning?
The Fade reflects the minds of the living. If you expect a spirit of wisdom to be a pride demon, it will adapt. And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
I'm impressed that you could become friends with spirits.
Anyone who can dream has the potential. Few ever try. My friends comforted me in grief and shared my joy. Yet, because they exist without form, as we understand it, the Chantry declares that spirits are not truly people. Is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Varric by his chest hair and not his wit?
I hadn't thought about it that way, but I see your point.
Thank you. Few are willing to entertain such a notion.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Anything interesting?
A letter regarding Felix, Alexius's son. He went to the magisterium, stood on the Senate floor and told them of you. A glowing testimonial, I'm informed. No news on the reaction, but everyone back home is talking. Felix always was as good as his word.
Was?
He's dead. The Blight caught up with him.
Are you all right?
He was ill, and thus on borrowed time anyhow.
It doesn't mean you can't regret his death.
I know. Felix used to sneak me treats from the kitchens when I was working late in his father's study. Don't get into trouble on my behalf, I tell him. I like trouble, he'd say. Tevinter could use more mages like him. Those who put the good of others above themselves.
Were the two of you...
Felix and I? What an odd question. No, I had no intention of abusing Alexius's hospitality by seducing his son. Not that I've been proper my whole life, by any means. It wasn't like that. Even in illness, Felix was the best of us. With him around, you knew things could be better.
You make it sound like he was a better person than you.
What a mad thing to say. Few people are better than I. Very well, a better person, clearly, not nearly as handsome. Thankfully, Felix wasn't the only decent sort kicking around Thedas. It occurs to me that you're a mage.
That just occurred to you?
I meant, you must have been part of the Circle of Magi in the south. Meaning, you were locked away like a criminal, at least until you rebelled. It's such a bizarre notion to me.
There are worse things than being kept in the circles.
Death, starvation, being hunted by rabid mobs? Yes, I can imagine. Some would say Tevinter is hardly better, depending on which mage you ask. Still, it's so utterly foreign. It's more surprising that everyone would take the idea of a mage inquisitor so... calmly. Or maybe it's not calm. Maybe the Antivan crows are swimming in gold from all the contracts on your life. Good luck with that, by the way. Grand fun being the one in charge.
Greetings again, Inquisitor.
A request has been made of you, Inquisitor. Here it is.
Of course. My dear, did you need me for something?
Did you need something?
Anything I should know?
It seems that the Olesian army is awaiting our next move. Some of the generals are sympathetic to our cause, others are still suspicious. Our actions are under a great deal of scrutiny.
Inquisitor.
With allies come enemies. And now we have a place to hold them.
No one to watch over, your worship. We either have many friends, you've made work Inquisitor.
You're different. It shines on you, shimmering, sharp. You made magic from the rifts.
Do I seem that different to you?
The Fade sticks to mages. Little figments, flitting, floating free, then forced into shapes. Fire, ice, lightning. You use the Fade itself. You make it charged, but not changed. Channeled enchantments. It's strong and pure, and loud. You ripple like water when the stone is dropped.
I take it not all mages feel the way I do?
Solus is the same, but quieter. The Fade is his friend. He doesn't need to look to know where it goes. Vivienne is crisp and cool. The Fade dances, darts, lashed and leashed. Dorian pulls at pieces, pushing them to bodies. I like him more when it's just fire. And the Venatori are dark and hard and cracked and old. They pull the Fade with blood and pain and ancient lying whispers.
I hope you like the way I feel now.
Yes. It's different, but familiar. It reminds me of me. Did you need me?
I'd like to talk about what happened to you before we met.
What do you want to know?
What was the Spire like when the Mage Rebellion started?
Dead and dying, begging and bloody. Some wanted freedom, some peace, some war. Some wanted it all to stop. Evangeline was a Templar, but she helped Reese help the others. She set them free. Adrian was a mage. but she killed mages to force the fight. She wanted blood. Reese just wanted to help. To stop people hurting. Maybe that's why he saw me.
I'll talk to you later.
How do you know? He hunts the killer, but he's the one who killed her. He can't remember.
I've heard about some oddities here in the keep. Was that you?
Yes. Maybe. What was it?
Can I assume you're responsible for the turnips that have shown up in the fireplaces?
They don't smell the same, raw.
You needed that soldier to smell them, so he could die thinking he'd gone home.
He did go home.
Someone is leaving peeled plums on the windowsill. It's attracting flies.
Spiders need to eat.
And healers need something to treat infected wounds, like spiderwebs.
The plums are already dead. They don't mind helping.
Someone found a barrel full of misplaced daggers. Was that you?
They were safer there.
Safer than on someone's belt, where they could draw them in the heat of an argument.
They would have been sad later.
Someone stole an entire cheese wheel.
Mice like cheese.
Do mice also like bowls of crushed mint?
That was for the cats.
So the cheese lures the mice, and the mice lure the cats, and then they smell the mint?
Mint makes the cats dance and play.
Let's talk about something else.
All right.
I'll talk to you later.
How do you know?
Inquisitor,
Scout Harding.
we're on the outskirts of Sarnia. This is what's left of the town. The lucky ones got out before the river froze over. The rest, penned in by Fade Rifts and Red Templars. We're the first friendly face they've seen in a long, long while.
Are you all right? You look a little cold.
Me? Well, it is a touch chilly. My toes are freezing. I'm sorry. You didn't need to know that.
How did an entire river freeze so quickly?
It got really cold, really quickly. Sarnia relies on its river for everything. Trade, food. They weren't expecting this.
Do you know why the Red Templars have come here?
Can't tell you much. The Templars have outposts all through the hills. Our scouts haven't been able to get through. It probably has something to do with the local stone quarry, though. A lot of the workers went missing after the Red Templars moved in.
I should look in on the townsfolk, see what they can tell me.
I'm sure they'll appreciate it. The Red Templars have been mounting frequent attacks. They want Emprise de Lyon. Bad. Let's get out there and take it back from them.
Dispatch for you.
What is it?
This may be worthwhile. Maker, take them into his hands.
O Creator, see me near. Good day to you.
That was generous of you.
I do what I can. I am partly to blame for all this. The Red Templars are here because, fool that I am, I sold them my family's quarry. They've taken every worker. We haven't seen them in weeks. And it's not enough. They keep coming, taking more people. And there's nothing I can do to stop them.
How could you have sold land to the Red Templars?
I didn't know. I swear by Andrastre's spire, they looked like knights, chevaliers. Such pretty speeches. They said they would reopen the quarry, bring employment and trade back to Sanya. We'd been struggling since the war began. How could I refuse? It was good for a time. People went to work, they were paid. Then they stopped coming home. After that, the Red Templars stopped pretending.
What do you mean the Red Templars take workers?
People just disappear. First those who worked the quarry, then they took people from their homes. I don't know why. I just prayed they'd leave me and my family alone.
This is one of the mages I spoke of. came to this, but at least it is done.
The other day, did I see you punch a tree? What did it ever do to you?
Plenty.
I see.
I suffered from hay fever when I was small. My brother joked I should punch a tree in retaliation. So I did, and the sneezing stopped. I've done it ever since.
The direct approach. I like it.
I would rather not linger here.
See me kneel, for I walk. If the Red Templars attack, we'll see them coming.
Feels warmer around the crystals.
Red Lyrium. We should be cautious here.
Val Royeaux, huh? I remember the first time I visited it, some 30 years ago. The market was not half as large, without the garish statues, and far fewer stands selling those ridiculous frilly little cakes.
The Val Royeaux market was once nothing but... of oiled leather and mud, filled with ragged humans, selling strings of beads made of bone.
You saw this in the Fade?
Yes. I left that memory quickly. The smell.
Must have been ages ago.
Oh, yes. It's much better now. I enjoy the frilly cake.
Nothing to report, sir.
We should search the area.
Let us out! Break the locks, please!
Let us out! The Red Templar lieutenants are in the quarry. This won't stop until they're dead.
It was good to do that.
Have you looked everywhere? They took so many of us.
I like it when we help people.
Letter from Samson himself.
You have to help us. Break the locks, please.
I like how you see where the arrow will land without being there. It's falling and flying, free and flight, all the same, like looking through the fade.
It's like its face doesn't know what it's saying. Ugh.
Let us out!
Have you looked everywhere? They took so many of us!
I like it when we help people.
A note from Samson about spreading red lyrium.
Have you looked everywhere? They took so many of us!
I like it when we help people.
to help us. They'll turn us into those things. Break the locks, please! Have you looked everywhere? They took so many of us!
I like it when we... people.
Let us out!
It's getting so dark. Inquisitor, please.
You don't seem well. What's wrong?
The red crystals, I can feel them at the tips of my fingers, beneath my nails, under my eyelids. I know what happens. I have a letter for my love. Would you place it in the hollow of the marked tree by the river? When he returns from the war, he'll know to look there. Let him hate me and move on.
You have to help us. They'll turn us into those things. Have you looked everywhere? They took so many of us.
They are happier now.
Let us out! You have to help us. They'll turn us into those things. Break the locks, please. Let us out! You have to help us. They'll turn us into those things. You've saved us. We can all go home now.
I like it when we help people. You don't have to be afraid, Sarah. I won't hurt you. I won't stab you when you're looking somewhere else. I won't do that to your boots, or that other thing to your arrows. I don't understand what that last thing is, but I won't do it either.
Shut it up!
Nothing to report, sir.
Good day to you.
You lied. You knew what the Red Templars were doing, but you took their gold and stayed silent.
Yes, I took their gold. Gold and any supplies they would give. All so we could live. There are many orphans in Sarnia. Who protected them when their parents were lost? We couldn't run, not with the river frozen and the demons. If I had said anything, they would have killed me too. So I let them take people, and prayed that one day, someone like you would come destroy them. All we could do was survive till that day. Now it's come, hasn't it? I was right.
People were taken, infected with red lyrium because of your actions.
What else could I do? Take up the old pitchfork to fight? Those who died would have died regardless. This way, at least some survived.
My maker, know my heart.
I saw what those Templars did to the others. If you hadn't freed us, I might have been next.
I found your confession. You killed Lynette's brother.
No. It was an accident. He was going to take everything. You mustn't tell Lynette. Let her believe the war killed Guard.
It is your confession. Do with it as you will.
Bless your heart, Inquisitor.